What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is here. Oh man, listen, I haven't been awake too long. My phone was a buzzing. Had voice notes, I had texts. Someone literally about 7:30 this morning said, "Look out for something today." I went, "Oh, all right." I said, "Okay, I'll look out." Well, we've looked out and we got something. So we're gonna get into that in this stream. We're going live for this transfer talk. We are live and direct. And we got stuff to talk about, people. We have things to discuss. So I did have a show pretty much all ready for today. Obviously, I've knocked out a few of those things because things have drastically changed. But yeah, we're here, man. We're here to talk football, man. Let's go. You know what, man? I told you guys before, I really want Leeds United to succeed. I do. That's the only thing that I care about in terms of the football club. Don't care who the personnel is as long as they get the job done. But when you're seeing how the window is playing out, yeah, it's sick note too, Mike. Listen, I've got the depth chart courtesy of LUFC data. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Will say nice and early. I see you eager to give us the news. Yeah, listen, I put it for 12 o'clock, but you know me, sometimes I'll go earlier. Never later, but always earlier. Oh man, guys. So listen, I've put a poll in the chat, in the live chat anyway. DCL a good signing, yes or no? Simple, just simple as that. Because we're gonna get into why. We're just gonna get into it, okay? We're just gonna get into it. Right. So I was gonna start today's show. Well, today's video. It would have just been an upload. Just finishing off the Rodrigo Muniz stuff, just simply because this was the report last night, and this is just not from Zinni, it's from other people as well, saying that Leeds United were going to stay patient in the Rodrigo Muniz pursuit. Literally, despite Rodrigo Muniz saying he only wants Atalanta, he has agreed terms with Atalanta. Basically, leave me alone. I only want to go to Serie A. That is literally what has come out in the last, say, 24 hours. And then Fabrizio put in this morning. Atalanta are confident of getting Rodrigo Muniz deal done with Fulham as talks are advancing. Muniz keen on the move to Serie A, negotiations underway. And I was just going to simply say on the next video, move on now. I'm off. Listen, that does not mean don't identify top targets. It doesn't mean move off from the quality, but move on from this one because he clearly doesn't want to come. No matter how much he would have fit in, how much he would have improved the team, this one isn't going to happen, Leeds. So please, we've got less than 20 days of the window. We need to move on. We need to move on with this one. But I didn't expect this, people. Ornstein dropping the BOMBA this morning, people. Leeds United reach agreement in principle to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 28-year-old striker, free agent after Everton contract expired. England international scheduled at Thorpe Arch. Can't even talk. Scheduled at Thorpe Arch imminently to do medical before completing transfer. And I know the chat will be he probably won't pass the medical. He will, people. This is one of those where these kind of players, they will grind through the medical. Everything is clear. Listen, we've had it with literally this summer, Mecha, Bornau. You know, honestly, I do think at this point, and I'm kind of half joking, kind of half serious. I do think that this football recruitment team has a fetish for injury-prone players. I do. I feel like it's like a little kink that the football club has, where if the player's got an injury record, it's interesting to them. You know, I can fix you, baby. I think it's one of those where we do have a little fetish for players that are injury-prone. I mean, we've still got players like Byram on the books that we have to work extra hard to keep fit. But now Mecha, Bamford's still here at this current point. I feel like there's a little bit of a fetish here, not gonna lie. I think if the injury record's clean, we ain't interested. Nah, too perfect for me. So now I'm not well, I do have hay fever, but I am just I have just woken up. So, you know, allow me in it. Um, Michael here saying, KG, we are doomed. This is the best they can come up with since April. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of I've said it many times, Michael. I mean, this window has gone just not the way I thought it would. I understand that we're trying to be hard to beat, got that. And we'll get the depth chart up in a bit. Defense midfield, I think we're absolutely fine. I think we're absolutely fine in that area. But going forward, man, this team ain't gonna do it. This team isn't gonna do it. I literally said it on the live video we did a couple of days ago. Man United finishing 16th, scored 44 goals. Does anyone realistically see this team scoring 44 goals with what we've got and even adding Dominic Calvert-Lewin? It's one of those where we can try and keep goals out as much as possible, but once one goes in, we've got to then score. It's gonna be mad. Yeah, even Solomon had injury issues. Yeah, we'll get into Solomon a bit later as well. Reece saying here, none of this matters. Peru's going to be the main man this year. I think so too. But then saying that, Reece, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and by the way, people, Ben Jacobs said that he's rejected Sunderland for us, so this is the one we beat Sunderland for. But listen, this, even though it's a free transfer, people, it's not free. You know, the wages will be decent. The signing on fee, the agent fees, this all costs money. It's not just, oh, he's free, just getting through the door and sign somebody else. I don't see that happening. At this point in time, people, Bamford's on the out. Joseph has gone. So that leaves Metcha, who's come in, Calvert-Lewin, and Peru. How are we signing another striker? Where does that make sense? I was even going to talk about Mitrovic today, but what's the point? I'm not even going to bring up Mitrovic in on the screen. Unless someone's going, Metro's not going to go. He's just come. DCL's not going to go. He's arriving. Peru, I think he's going to be one of our first choice strikers, which I had no problem with. I just thought that we'd have, more competition. What's he saying? Nick saying Zinny Boswell. Has he put up something else? Let me see. Or are you talking about the one I've put up? Let me have a look. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. All right, let me put it up. Let me go on to that. Nice one, Nick. As per David Ornstein's David Ornstein, Leeds United, agree, blah blah blah, and to push it for him. DC, it's the last bit, isn't it? DCL and Leeds United, not each other's top choices. Lord have mercy, but need each other for now. Oi. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I need a striker. You need a club. All right, man. Damn. Let's just do something together. Oh my God. Oh, this is in real time. I did not see this one before. Oh my days. That's hilarious. Oh my God. You know what, man? Listen, if they're not going to take the window seriously, why should I? Why should I? I came into this summer as well with all these transfer talk videos. Go back and have a laugh at them now. I think I might do. I think I might just go back and go, what are you thinking here? Franjo Ivanovic, get out of here. He ain't signing for you. Oh, my God. DCL and Leeds United, not each other's top choices, but both need each other now. But listen, obviously, when he signs, the intro video, yeah, it was a no-brainer to come in, Leeds, massive club. Oh my God. You'd be surprised, Wilf. You'd be surprised. Listen, once he throws on the shirt and everything else, I'm not saying he doesn't get back. That is not what I'm saying. The problem that we've had over the past few days, those people, is that we've had legitimate conversations about Josh Sargent and DCL. I've seen it. These should never be conversations for Leeds United back in the Premier League, but that's where we are with what we've got. God, man. Oh, okay. Vavi here saying we're basically replacing Patrick Bamford. Lovely segue, because we've got this to go on. Because, I'm seeing, people saying, if we get a fit DCL, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go with that. This is DCL back in 1920, 36 and 13. Lovely, good stuff. Then in the empty stadium year, 16 goals in 33. And I think that's what everyone's remembering, that DCL. But since then, people, it hasn't been good. 5, 2, 7, 3. Okay. And listen, even though, and I've been through this before when we were linked with DCL earlier in the window, the 26 appearances, he was having to really be like kept fit. It was one of those where they had to manage him. And even if he had started a game, he probably didn't finish it because he had to go off. So even though you're seeing 26 appearances, they were very, very managed minutes, very, very managed. And it wasn't a good goal return. I think he had like 1 goal in like the last 20 games. This is what we're putting our hopes on. Fit DCL. And by the way, people, if you're going to go on that basis, if people are going to say that narrative of, well, he was good in that year and we could get him back, well, then you know what? You may as well have just kept this guy. The guy that also in 2021 scored 1 more Premier League goal. He also scored 16 goals the previous year, albeit in the championship. But then from then on, it's the same kind of scenario. The goals dry up. 2, 4, and then we got championship 8, 0. That is Mr. Patrick Bamford. Honestly, they couldn't be more similar. It's like we have basically signed the more fashionable Patrick Bamford. Oh man, forward thinking by the 49ers who are actively preparing for the championship. Listen, it aggressively attack the window. Sorry for me, people, this is not aggressive. It's not. This is not aggressive. Aggressive is a Mitrovic. Aggressive is some of the other players we've been linked with and haven't got for whatever reason. Hey, you know what? You're saying Dele Alli. I wouldn't at this point, I wouldn't put it past him because he's free. DCL, man. And listen, let's get into his what everyone's talking about, his injury record. We don't have to go all, I mean, we could go back to 21, 22, but again, that's a while ago, so I'll be hypocrite myself there. But let's just go back to 23, 22, 23. Hamstring, knee, hamstring, fitness issues, out for 18 days with fitness issues, broken cheekbone, okay, can't do much about that, ill, ankle injury, and lastly, that kept him out for 100 days, hamstring injury. There's a theme. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, look, guys, I did not have this summer. When I envisioned what this summer was going to look like, I didn't think it was going to look like this. Like I say, I'm happy with like the Stacks, the Biols, the Perrys, and even the Goodmanson. But some of the other stuff we've signed, honestly, we could have signed them if we was competing for promotion in the championship. Like if we had signed Mecha in the championship, I can say, all right, it hasn't gone, you know, his career hasn't gone the way he thought it would. He's probably looking to rebuild at a lower level. I understand it. Bonal, I think Bonal would have signed for absolutely anybody. I think we could have got him in the championship as well. This hasn't been good. It hasn't been good overall. And the thing is as well, what people keep rewriting the narratives every time we've done or haven't done something. The thing at the start of the window, everyone was saying was we got 30 million per position to spend, which I knew was crap anyway. You can't just say we're going to spend 30 here, 30 here, 30. It doesn't work like that. Football doesn't work like that. But we moved on from that. Then it was, okay, maybe we're signing these players now so we can go big in the forward areas. Yeah, we're going to spend all the big money in the forward areas. Well, we still haven't done that. This is a free transfer, albeit signing on free agent fees. So where is that sprinkle of stardust? Where is the thing that is going to elevate us out of that bottom 3? Where is that going to be? Is it now going to be in the attacking midfield areas? Is it going to be El Canus if he's still interested? I mean, as well, I was going to bring up El Canus, people. In terms of Newcastle, I mean, they've gone for someone else I thought we could possibly go for in Jacob Ramsey. He's going to Newcastle, so that would kind of take El Canus off the table, I think. Tottenham as well going for Eze, so that could be unlikely. So I think we may have a better chance of El Canus. But my thing is always, when you sign certain players, you've got to complete the jigsaw puzzle. There's no point then signing at El Canoes if he still has the problem that he had at Leicester, where it was he was creating all these chances and people weren't finishing them off. El Canoes' numbers were so low because people were just missing chances. Leicester weren't taking them. And that doesn't change if you don't give him more quality around him. It's the same with everything. Oliver saying, you give that Sash Charger another bell. But that's what I'm saying, man. The options that we're speaking of, these are not, I would expect this from Burnley. I'd expect this from a promoted team that, you know, were like happy to be here, you know, not expectant to be here. This is big Leeds United, man. And when I say this, we're talking about the fans, and this is, and I'm already seeing it with them talking about the fans all the time. We had this in the year where we was getting hammered week after week under Bielsa in that season, where after every game, because the fans were just staying on the side of the players, no matter what the scoreline was, the narrative, the main headline after was the Leeds fans were brilliant today. And it seems like we're going to be leaning into that again this season. It does. I don't know what he's going to be on. I don't think it's going to be 150, Brett, but it's still going to be sizable wages, which then eats up another kind of signings wages. That's why I say, even though it's a free transfer, it still costs you. You know, it's not just free. There's other things that go into it. Why would Farker want him? Well, I mean, according to Zinni, we need each other. You know, we're not each other's first choice, but how we do. You know, I've said this before on here. Actually, I've said this to the fellas. You know that you're probably not your wife's first choice. You know, and it seems like this is one of these things here where, you know, we're not each other's first choice, but we'll do for each other. But what I'll say is, well, Farker, you know, we'll talk about this come the end of the window, but I do feel like we've hamstrung ourselves a little bit with that in terms of the pull of the manager. But that's on the 49ers for, you know, doing that diabolical leak earlier in the window and not following through with it. They then said they'll back him, and I don't feel like they're backing him enough. He needs better talent in order to even have a chance of survival. And again, we'll talk about this come the end of the window because there's comparables in everything that I'm saying here. There you go, Ali. Might not be my wife's first choice, but at least I'm available. That's tremendous. I love that. I love that. I mean, Ed here. I mean, Ed's usually trolling up in here, you know, but Ed's got a little bit of a point here. If Everton weren't willing to re-sign, surely that's not a sign. And I don't even go there, Ed. I go elsewhere. DCL has been free for a while. Why has another Premier League team not taken a punt? No, Ben Jacobs is saying that Sunderland were interested, but I don't know how big that interest would have been when they've signed in Guy. They've kept on their two other strikers. I don't see how like hard that interest would have been. But where's everybody else in the Premier League that is not thinking a 28-year-old Dominic Calvert-Lewin would give him a boost? You know, Brentford again. We're talking about Brentford, who are now looking to sign Callum Wendo. They didn't see DCL as an option, even though Visser and Buemo are going. They didn't think he could be part of a puzzle to keep them up. Other teams, there's no one else that could have seen it, but Leeds United are the ones to take him. Yeah. This is the other one, Mike. This is the other name. I was trying to think of the other name, Mike, you brought up. Sargent, DCL, and Antonio. Been seeing those three names. It's diabolical that we're even talking about these three names as options. Shouldn't even be a conversation, but here we are. Well, that's fair enough, Brett. Very simple answer to a very simple question. You're probably right, mate. Yeah. See, here we are. Reaper here. I can only assume it's temporary fill, a temporary fill until we get our main striker in. We still have 2 weeks to go. Reaper and everybody else. Why do you think we're going to get in another striker? And I'm genuinely asking you that question because I don't see it. Unless Peru is leaving, we've got Peru, Metcha, Calvert-Lewin, and even Harry Gray underneath, if you like. Why do you think we're getting in a fourth striker when we literally will probably just play with one? As Farker has said himself, he literally said this in terms of Joseph and Bamford leaving. I only play with one striker, so it's hard. So you're not going to go with more than 3. So I'm genuinely asking people, why do you think we're still going to go and get a Mitrovic or someone like that? I don't understand it. Nathan saying at least Harrison has one mate. Well, look, let's go into this, and this is courtesy of LUFC data. So shout out to him for the graphic. This is our depth at the moment, and this is without Calvert-Lewin, so we'll include him. Defensively, we still need 2 fullbacks. That's non-negotiable for me. If you're having a half serious conversation about staying up or at least fighting, I saw one of the Opta predictions saying that we're going to get 36 points. That'd be interesting. If you're even half serious about staying up, you need 2 fullbacks, not 1. You need 2. You need to get rid of Schmidt. He needs to leave. He needs to get regular football elsewhere. Good for him. We need better than that. Byram needs to be 5th choice. I'll never change my opinion on that. That's not going to change for me. He cannot be the backup right back or backup left back. Get 2 in. Centre backs, absolutely fine. Goalkeeper, again, if we were doing this properly, again, and people won't like this because, you know, you like Darlow. If we were doing this properly, we would have gotten another goalkeeper, a cheap one, but a better competition for Perry. We would have, but we're not going to do that. So I accept Darlow is number 2. Okay. Centre backs, good. I would have liked someone better than Bonal, but it is what it is. He's going to be 4th choice, 3rd, 4th choice. Midfield, we're good. Again, would have had someone better than Longstaff as an option, especially with how we've built the team. It would have been better if we had got some of the stardust that we was aiming to get. I would have understood more the Longstaff thing then. But at this point in time, he is a more mobile Gruev. But we've got numbers in midfield and defensive midfield, no problem. Okay, those areas in central defense, central midfield, I think we're good. I do. But then when you get up front and attacking midfield, this is where we run into a roadblock. James, Nonto, Ramazani, and Harrison at this point. And the thing is as well, by people, Farke's words are the ones he said this. We've lost Solomon, and that is a big part of our attack, and we haven't replaced him yet. And we've literally inserted Jack Harrison into the team. And he is saying that even though he is reintegrating Jack Harrison into the team, we're still weaker by that metric. This is from Farke himself. This isn't me talking. This is Farke. So that's very telling. And it does make me think that we're going to move Jack Harrison back into the left wing back position, which again is a scary prospect when we're talking about defending for large portions of the game. But yeah, so up front, it's going to be, okay, yeah. Peru, Mecha, and DCL. So yeah. Hayden here. At least no one can complain about not having Prem proven players. Yeah, you know me. I don't know how long you've been with the channel. I don't recognize your name, Hayden, but I've always said with that Prem proven tag, it's a load of nonsense. It's a load of nonsense because you can literally say you want Prem proven players, yeah, and then ask people who they want to sign. It will be players that before they actually establish themselves in the Premier League would have been 8 million, 9 million signings from like leagues around Europe. But just because you've seen them do it in the Premier League, now you want them for 40, 50 million. You're supposed to get your own gems and then make it. You're supposed to do the Brighton model in that you'll find these gems and all of a sudden, hey, Chelsea, do you want him for 60 million? That's how you're supposed to do it. Or even better, keep them as you ascend the table. But that's a perfect world scenario. But yeah, here we are. Exactly, Jason. This is what I always say as well. If other teams were doing some of the stuff we were doing, there'd be no copium. There'd be no looking at, well, you know, if we can get 2020 Calvert-Lewin back, we'd be saying, well, they ain't serious about staying up. They're probably just hoping to survive. But if they don't, maybe they can keep him for the championship. Maybe that's what we'd be saying. But because it's Leeds, you have to put it in that white tinted glasses and say, you know what, man, I can see it. And listen, I'm guilty of that myself this summer with Longstaff. I've not said that it's a good signing at any point, but I did say if we're building the way that we were building at the time, which was big guys and being hard to beat, I can understand it. But I always left it with the caveat, and there would never be a video where you haven't seen me say this after. only if you're getting better quality up the pitch so he can give the ball off to. Otherwise, the signing isn't worth a damn for 15 million pounds. But it is, you know, even I've done it myself, but it has to be, but there's been context behind it when I've done it. No Cap here saying getting in DCL also cost us Bilal El Khanous. There's no way he wants to come here and have a repeat of last season. We'll see. At this moment in time, yeah, at this moment in time, we don't know where he's going to end up. He could come here, but you know, I'm not, you know, holding my breath on that. But we'll see. In that case, no Cap. Bobby saying, yeah, we laughed at Broja, but celebrating DCL exactly. And we're talking about this is what people are doing with Broja. They're remembering, you know, or talking about the time where he had half a decent season at Southampton on loan. That was a long time ago. He's also been very injured, very off form and everything else like that. But, you know, people laughing at that. But we're doing the same now with DCL. It's true. Damar saying, I don't get it, but Bamford is frozen out and DCL has come in when they're both on par with each other. Yeah, just DCL is just a couple of years younger. But by their bodies, by the way that they've been unfit and injury prone, they're probably the same age in that way. You know what I mean? It's one of those where even though DCL's 38, Bamford's what, 32 now, they could, you know, their bodies are probably saying we're probably 50 years old. You know what I mean? Oh man. Here we go. The thing is, as well, if you're going to make a point, and I'm just saying this, if you feel that it's a good signing, make your point in that way. Give me reasons why you feel it's a good signing. Don't just say people are doom and gloom or are not looking at the bright side of it. Give me the bright side. I want you to. This is the thing as well. I want you to give me why you think this is going to be the piece of the puzzle that is going to help Leeds United survive this grueling Premier League season. I want you to tell me. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, so there's the depth. What else have we got here? We've got a little bit of news. So I think we've exhausted the DCL. Fabrizio put this out as well today. Manos, oh, let me take a sip of drink, man. Why are people saying someone's 38? Who's that? Have I missed something? Is that just a chat going on? Did I say Dominic Calvert-Lewin's 38? No, I said with their fitness. I said with their fitness, even though Calvert-Lewin's 28 and Bamford's 32, their bodies probably feel like they're 38 or 50. But maybe I did say 38. Who cares? You know it was a mistake. Come on, man. I just woke up. All right, I said 38. All right, man. Don't kill me, edit. Don't kill me. All right, man. All right, I got it. Listen, you guys around me, man. Are we working? Are we shooting here? You know. But anyway, Manor Solomon, you guys know what I mean. Don't do that to me. Come on, man. Manor Solomon could leave in the final weeks of the window with La Liga and Premier League clubs called in recent days. Movement started with Spurs aware of interest. So, yeah, I mean, I would think there's no names attached to this one, but I'm thinking if Premier League clubs are calling, and especially with the way that our window's gone with, you know, our other first choices, I've got to think that Manor Solomon is one on the list for Leeds United again. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, John, very disappointed. I thought you meant in me. Yeah, I think so too. I definitely think we're in this conversation for Solomon again. So yeah, I mean, we'll keep an eye on this one when, you know, things are more formally announced with clubs, you know, putting names to the interest to Manor Solomon. But yeah, I would think that we're definitely in the conversation for Manor to come back. Yes, Arjo here saying Solomon, if we don't get any other, he's our choice. You guessing Burnley and Leeds, yeah. Matt saying here, take Solomon back. Yeah, listen, when we get to it, when it becomes a bit more concrete, we'll get into it for sure. Honestly, we'll speak about that in depth there. That deserves its own video, in all fairness. Ben Jacobs last night, though, saying here, understand Leeds are not currently considering a move for Liverpool defender Tsimikas, despite links, which is Again, disappointing because he could be available for, I think, around 12 to 15 million, which, you know, in what we've spent so far, people, isn't bad. It wouldn't be bad for that, and it would be genuine competition for Goodmanson. Like, literally, you know what, he'd probably start over him. There's a conversation, but it's a good conversation to have in terms of, you know, two players fighting for a position. At this point in time, that's what we need. We need competition for players, because if we're going to go for backups to what we've got now, then we are cooked. You know what I mean? Guys, Louder 38, man. It was a while ago, man. I misspoke. Lauer, brother, you know. But yeah, Simicast, you know, it doesn't look like he's going to come here, but Forest have been heavily linked. But yeah, we need someone else over on that side. Byron here saying, who is our game winner? Where's our Raf? No idea, man. No idea. Chris Tremendous, Leeds constantly disappoint. Now I know how my wife feels. And for the people that love Heineken, here's something from the club account. Leeds United is pleased to announce a renewed partnership with Heineken UK, continuing as the club's official beer insider partner. So there you go, people. There you go. Slice Ed Bread. You know what, man? You say this, but with the fetish that we've got, he might be wife number one. Luke Shaw and his fitness record over the past 10 years. That's a dream for our scouting department. Oh God, he might not be fit for 25 games. Oh, I could fix that. Oh, yeah. You say that. I'm telling you. John B saying KG's doing a marvelous job. Thank you. I appreciate that. Our wingbacks raw for if they prefer to get injured. It's as simple as that. You don't need to add any context. It doesn't need any deep dive underneath it. It's true. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so there we are, people. There we are. That will be it. I've got a lot of stuff open. Let me just make sure I've got everything. The poll. Let's end the poll here. So, happy with DCL? Simple question. DCL good signing. No 68%. Yes 31%. So there you are. Cookie asking here, who will be wearing the number 9 shirt? Well, I'm guessing, like with when we did with Perry, even though Mellier's still here, I'm thinking that with him denouncing Bamford publicly, I think that Dominic Calvert-Lewin will get the number 9 shirt. That's my guess. I don't think he's going to take. I don't think it even matters these days, but I know for strikers more so that the number 9 means something to him still. But I do think that Bamford will be stripped of his number, not because of anything he's done, like Farker said about Meslier, but just for the confidence that he wants to put in Calvert-Lewin. I think we're going to hear that kind of spin when Calvert-Lewin signs for sure. Okay, Ebenezer, here we go. Thank you. So, unless someone else has put something similar, here we are. Farker sees Peru as a 9.5, 10. Yeah. We'll get a marquee striker, DCL Metcha for free, good for depth on the bench. Well, I disagree with the last bit. I just feel like we should be aiming higher, but okay. But your first bit, if he sees it in that way, well, then that would probably mean that an El Canus isn't coming. If you're going to put it in that way, Ebenezer, if that's your real name. Sorry, probably is, my bad. But that would mean then there's no DCL, because unless then you're going to move Aronson on, which is not going to happen, that would mean there's going to be Aronson in Peru in that area, which again brings up question marks under your premise here. But if you are right in that he would see Peru more as the guy behind the striker, then yes, I agree. That is the only other way we get in another striker to make it 3 and Peru moves back into like that 9.5, 10. That is a good point from Ebenezer if that is the way he's looking at it. But then it throws up massive question marks in that Aronson stroke Peru area. That would be very weak for me. But yeah. People still going under 38. Is that how little I make errors? Because you guys are latching onto that one. Yeah, it's like with my partner. I'm usually right 99% of the time, like all men, right? But yeah. John B is saying maybe there's a method in Farker's madness. I gotta say, man, Farker, when he was talking the other day after the game against Milan, when he was talking about it's not just about bodies, it's about the quality of the player. And even with Zinny Boswell saying that at the end of his sentence about us not being each other's first choices, I can see Farke getting behind this one because he's very much like a Farke kind of player, like the Metcha thing. But I don't think he would have been his first choice. I can't believe that if Farke knows he's going to be under the spotlight more than everything. You've heard, guys, I'm sure you guys have listened to everybody talk, and I'm talking about non-Leeds fans. I'm talking about pundits. I'm talking about other people talking about Farke and his previous track record in the Premier League. And again, it's not just because he wasn't backed by Norwich. People have got to put that to one side. It was his tactics in the Premier League, which a lot of you would not have seen because you were not watching Norwich like that. I was watching him, and it was naive as hell. He was asking players that had no business to push up, and got absolutely exposed at that level. And he was just naive at the time. There's going to be question marks over him. I can't believe he would be thinking, you know what's going to help me to survive in the Premier League and keep my job? Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I just find it very difficult to believe. Ian, did they mean to sign him for Rangers? That's tremendous. Oh man. But yeah, people, man. We are still at the same place for me. I will always keep it real with you guys. I would love to say that this football club is going to survive this season, or I'm predicting this football club to survive, and we'll do prediction video probably later in the week. We'll do it before the season starts or before our season starts. Don't know which order we'll do it in, but at this point in time, people, I still see us in the bottom three. That's not me being a doom merchant. That's not me being pessimistic. That's me just looking at the makeup of our team right now and just wondering where the goals are coming from. That's it. I think defensively, I think midfield, I think we're solid. I think that is really good for what we've done. I just don't know where the goals are coming from. This is not the Championship, people. We don't have a crappy goalkeeper, in Bristol City to score past. This is top level stuff. And the transition stuff as well against us is going to be way more difficult than when it was in the Championship, where people would get their one or two opportunities. In the Premier League, they're going to take one of those one or two opportunities, where in the Championship, we get away with it, go up the other end and score a goal. It's completely different, man. Vega saying bottom two. You know what? While I'm here and while there's a few of you in the room, does anyone, and if you do feel we're going to survive, please put it in the chat so I can see it. Do you think that this team, even with Calvert-Lewin signed, let's say we've got Calvert-Lewin through the door, do you think this team finishes 17th in the Premier League? No, I don't think so, Ripper. Ramazani loan to Ranger. No, I haven't seen that. Stephen here, no way. You're a realist. No way we start with what we have now. Sliced bread saying no, thank you, Ed. No. Chris saying I think we fight Burnley for the lowest point total ever. Yeah. 19th. Come on, man. Anyone in the chat? Maybe it's just for the way that I've cultivated my my community. Stephen saying 11th. That's tremendous, Stephen. I love that. Rehab FC, yeah. Medical Center FC. Michelle saying no. 19th for Keith. Yeah. I'm around there as well at this point in time. Again, people, things can change. Things can change drastically. I see this as well, Mark. We'll talk about that. It only takes a couple of like real top quality signings to change the narrative, but you've got to go with what you've got now. Milky here saying 15th spot. Sorry, I've missed it. It went up. Jason saying, I think it's between us and Sunderland for 17th. Okay. Mark here with the January transfer window need to do a Newcastle. The thing is, though, Mark, with that, the only thing I would say with this is that we have had real issues this summer with everyone starting at zero to attract a certain kind of player. And again, I've gone mad reading, not mad, but it does my head in seeing people say we're just not a top draw anymore. We don't have European football. That's what players want. Poppycock. Okay. And I'm going to keep using them as the example because they literally won the playoffs. They finished 20 plus points below us in the Championship, yet they're signing Granit Xhaka, who is leaving Leverkusen to come to Sunderland. And that's even on the basis, by the way, that his family wanted to stay in Germany. he called, and who was it that said it? Was it Darren Bent? No, it was Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine Defoe said he talked to Granit Xhaka, and he needed to advise him about houses and schools in Sunderland, because he didn't want to move without those kind of guarantees of there being top schools or nicest places to live and everything else like that. They literally convinced a man that's playing Champions League football for Leverkusen to go to Sunderland on the premise that his family even wanted to stay in Germany. So I don't want to hear any of that. They just want Champions League football, even though on another scale, Benjamin Sesko has left Leipzig. Even though they didn't have European football this year, he could have gone to a Champions League team. He's gone to Man United, albeit they will be paying him astronomical wages, which is very different. So we can stay with the Xhaka example. It's not just about European football. You can do it if your project is sexy enough, if you sold them enough. If a parade video isn't doing it, you need to do other things, okay? That's why it really does annoy me when people say, they just want European football. It's nonsense, man. It's nonsense. A lot of players, of course, want Champions League. Players like Visser, who hasn't played Champions League previously, he wants that now at this stage because he feels like this is the best opportunity for him to go and do it. That's cool. But as you've seen this summer alone, not everybody is looking for Champions League football. Jack Grealish could have waited till the end of the window, people, and possibly got a Champions League Cup come the end of the window. He's gone to Everton because they've shown how much they wanted him. He literally spoke about it yesterday, in that Pickford was calling him for weeks saying, come on, man, you've got to come. David Moyes, I see you as a big part of my plans. This is what I feel you can do. He was talking about how he's going to be the creative Jack Grealish again, because, you know, he's been the team player for the past few years, doing the defensive work. Guys, you can get it done if your chat is good enough, if your project is good enough, if your plan is good enough. Obviously, this summer, our project just hasn't been good enough as a pool. Whether that be the manager, whether that be the recruitment team, whatever it may be, we've had holes. And that, going back to this Mark comment, if we are not doing well by January, Mark, and everyone else that says this, what's the likelihood we're going to get in reinforcements? We already saw the last time that we was in the Premier League and around, what was it, February, we sacked Jesse March, March kind of time. We couldn't get another manager because they didn't want a relegation battle. It's no different for players, people. No different. Yeah, he loved the parade video. He loved that. So yeah, Sam, we have no risk. Simply everything what I just put in that 3-minute kind of rant I went on. Yeah, we have no risk. There you are, Sam. See, I love how you guys can just simplify everything I'm saying, but I have to give detail, people, because if I don't give detail, people will listen out to what I haven't said and then put in the comments, so does that mean yeah, so I have to give detail when I talk, people. Plus, it's my job. It's my job to give detail, you know. So yeah, all right. So I think we've come to the end, people. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin coming through the door. Let me just see if there's anything. Okay, right. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Nothing new. Nothing new. All right. Yeah, I know. I've just seen it, Hayden. Shall I put it up just for completion of the video? Let me just put it up. Zinny Boswell. Okay. Let me just get it up for you, because he has kind of backtracked on his earlier tweet. Not really, but obviously he knew how it sounded. So here we are. Here's the latest from Zinny Boswell around Calvert-Lewin. Leeds United explored a deal for Calvert-Lewin earlier this summer. It was viewed as a difficult one to do back then, and the focus was on Rodrigo Muniz. Lots has changed. Leeds United clearly rate DCL highly, and if he can stay injury-free, it could become a bargain. Someone obviously had a word with him. Whether that be from the 49ers or from the club's PR team, because they look, the club's PR team look at everything. Obviously, someone has fed him a little bit more to say, oi, what the hell are you thinking putting that at the end? So yeah, he's walked that back. But you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. John B, I'm off to lie down in the darker room now. I might join you. Well, not join you personally, but do one myself, right? By myself, right? Yeah, by myself. But listen, people, I hope everyone is good. Again, I've said it before, the streams lately have not been great in terms of the content, in terms of what we're Leeds United are going for and everything else like that. Don't shoot the messenger. I have my own opinions. You have your opinions. Keep it respectful as always. Keep it respectful in the comments, because at this time it just goes mad in the comments in terms of people just being disrespectful to each other. That's not the kind of community I've created. That's not what I'm about. So put your thoughts in the comments after the video, people, and I'll see you in the next one, man. I'll see you next. Yeah, Keith, exactly this as well. To end on this, you can't control the lack of ambition. Exactly. And that's where I am. Like I said, I've said a couple of videos ago, I'd have gone crazy at this a couple of years ago. I'd be fuming. My head would be hot and everything else like that. But if the club aren't going to match the ambition that it can have for itself, we've got a lucrative sponsorship with Red Bull, Adidas back in, 49ers back in. If they're not going to be as ambitious as they can with all the fans that turn up to the games and buy the shirts and everything else, then what can you do? What can you do? You just have to see what's happening, man. All right, Edwin. Be off. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. See you in the next one. Like the video before you go. Helps out the channel immensely. See you in the next one. Peace out.